Chapter 2 of JJK Modulo has been released. If you don't want to be spoiled now, I highly recommend you go away. This is going to be a bullet point version, okay? I'm going to release a full video on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't. But the TLDR of it all, the acting minister for foreign affairs has ended up talking to this guy, who is called Jabalona, and as you can see, here's the diplomatic envy on half the Sumerians. Never ever going to be able to pronounce that right, like, ever. It looks very reminiscent of Tengen. Like, damn near identical, which is just deeply concerning right now, I'm not gonna lie. We have a conversation about how affairs between Sumerians and, well, mostly people of Japan are gonna be handling each other, especially since pretty much the entire army is comparable to Ramon and Sukuna if they invaded. So no, the supposed king of the Sumerians isn't as strong as Sukuna, but him and his entire fleet would be comparable to save Sukuna and attack the entire country. So these two are going to try and find any way which means possible to try and make sure a war doesn't happen. And to do that, they're going to keep letting the Sumerian Meru hang out with Yuka and Sugiri Okutsu, just without telling them he's an alien. But fucking suck, they already know he's an alien. They're trying to find out more about this alien business, and so they go to the guy from the previous chapter, who pretty much release all of the information for like free, pretty much. Telling them about the barrier technique that they're probably using, about how the aliens are probably self-sufficient up until a certain point in time and where supplies need to be envoyed onto the ship, and about how people with curse energy should be able to see the ship at a certain time within the next couple of days, which is where Yuka and Sugiri end up trying to go. They have a little conversation about the ring and what it means for them and why they want to get stronger with it, up until they encounter the ship. We finally get a proper introduction to Meru's brother, who is called Cross. Meru is pretty much like, yeah, no, the humans are pretty much identical to us, essentially. Not as strong as they used to be, but, you know, potato potatoes, they're good guys, they're bad guys. Nothing wrong with that. Cross is a fucking bitch to his core. And he's like, what if our, like, philosophy on good and bad just isn't the same? We can't coexist with them, but in that case. And Meru's like, no, they're the same. Cross isn't having it. He's like, well, fuck off, I'm gonna go carry on doing my job. Even when Meru's actively trying to be nice and be like, hey, we can get breakfast if you want. But then he pretty much gets declined. After pretty much everything they found out, Yuka and Sugiri are like, well, we better fucking dip and try and talk to Meru about this. So they try and go home, but Sugiri's like, oh no, my passport didn't work. Not passport, but like his pass for the transit. So he explores the rooftops until he thinks he meets Meru, but it's actually Cross. Telling him, hey, people are gonna think you're trying to off yourself if you keep standing up here all edgy and like you should probably move. But Cross told him to fuck off essentially, and now we're gonna have a whole fucking issue about Meru and Cross and whether or not Sugiri can distinguish who is what. Which might lead into a weird little talk about racism, but that's for like the YouTube video to talk about, not this short. Overall, like chapter 1, it was really good. Loving the world building, loving the implications that the entire fleet is like a Sukuna level threat. Loving these two found out about the world. I'd love it more if you followed me and helped me get to 5k.